Last time we visited Meraai, we saw how East Coast Scratch and Dent's paint guy Quinton applied the final coat of epoxy to Meraai's chassis. This week, Quinton shifts his attention to sealing Meraai's steel floor before it gets welded into place. And the Lennon van der Walt household was pretty busy over the holidays with a bevy of Meraai's fans. Okay, so some were my kids and they're forced to be fans. And some friends popped in for a visit. It has been 2 weeks since we last shared the progress of our bus to motorhome conversion with you all. While many of us were holidaying, the guys at East Coast Scratch and Dent were hard at work. Bram, what are your plans today?
We're busy cutting your floor, getting the floor ready. We first want to, as soon as the first plate has been done, we're going to epoxy coating the floors, and then we're going to install them. Okay. And then if all is installed, we're going to do the Raptor. We must do the Raptor at the bottom.
So the epoxy, first put that yellow stuff on and then install it, then put the Raptor on.
Yes.
We met Rocky a few episodes ago when he was welding the spacers onto Meraai's chassis to raise her body by 100 millimeters. Today he's cutting the steel for Meraai's floor.
Love the smell and the sound of a grinder in the morning.
We need to get Meraai's weight down by quite a bit during this conversion. So this steel is thinner than the steel that we removed from our little rust bucket earlier on.
Trim it just a little bit more so it can sit nice and flush.
With this piece of the floor in place, Bram has an epiphany.
I'm thinking of cutting out this wheel arch that's inside here. That to create more space, floor space for you, especially for the fitting of the cupboards and walking space inside the bus. The bus is already lifted by 100, so I think it will, when you put the big tire in here, it will fit. But we'll just do the measurements before we do that. I'll let you know there.
I hadn't really thought about how difficult it is going to be to put cupboards or toilets or shower booths or whatever in this area on top of the wheel arches, so it makes a hell of a lot of sense to get rid of them. That's a good call. It did not take Bram long to reach a final decision regarding the removal of the wheel arches. The recently cut steel flooring is removed and taken to the paint room where Quinton will apply the epoxy sealant to the steel. This looks like a set for a horror movie, but it's not, it's a paint room. And Quinton is just going to start prepping the flooring and then seal it with that yellow epoxy before they install it in Meraai. And yeah, it's exciting. I never thought I'd be so excited about bits of steel being sanded and painted. It's great. Sometime in the future, we will be back in this paint room, mixing the final colors that will grace Meraai's new body. But for now, we're at the final stages of rust-proofing her chassis and floor. Quinton mixes the epoxy and then masks up, something we should all be getting good at. While filming, I suddenly realized why wearing a mask in the paint room is a must.
Yo, that last shot, I realized I better hold my breath. There's a lot of stuff floating around in there, so phew.
My engel, my lief Meraai arrives and I fill her in on what is going on.
So that's the back floor, the section where the bed will be.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so this is the floor. It's already been cut to size. And yeah, so Quinton's busy putting this on and then they'll install it.
Wow.
The sealed metal sheets are carried to Meraai and put in place, the sealed section facing down. When the entire floor is installed, Quinton will seal the exposed upper surface. We are many episodes down the line, and before we could blink, it was the end of a very strange year. A year that I missed my children terribly. Now at the year's end, my girls have come to visit and have brought their handbrakes along with them. We all know that boyfriends are handbrakes, right? Right.
One day,
One day you will be fighting over this in your inheritance. And this is Kate. Kate hasn't seen it yet.
What's this paint? So it's going to be a green bus.
What's that yellow stuff? It's an epoxy, and because there was a lot of rust, and it's all been fixed.
Problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Problem, no problem.
And that's Jessica. Jessica hasn't seen Meraai either.
While my girls were here, I took the opportunity to secure some free labor in the art department. Kate can draw and do art, and so my little candidate something or other, you're going to design the bus outside.
That's cool.
Okay, give me some
Pressure.
ideas.
No, but I need to know the color scheme, the theme, everything. I need to ask you the questions.
Okay, till later. Years ago, Kate did some artwork on a school project that I loved. Recently, it was adapted, and I added my daughter's design to my tattoo collection. More from Kate a little later. We also had some very dear friends stop by to stay with us for a few days. This time, Meraai was tour leader.
En ons het 'n groot eer hierso op Meraai dat my groot vriendin, my langste vriendin, my beste vriendin, my mooiste vriendin, al die pad van Betty's Baai af kom kuier het, Matilda Slabber. Dit is nou Meraai. Uiteindelik ontmoet jy nou vir Meraai. Wat kom waar? Dis die groot vraag, wat kom waar?
Okay, the double bed's going to go there. Over there, there's going to be a beautiful see-through glass window. Okay, here's the driver's seat. The kitchen, I think, should be behind you guys when you're sitting here.
Okay, so the girls have worked out what goes where. Sort of. To make it all fit, we need to carry on with our trim of Meraai's wheel arches. Rocky has cut all the way around the wheel arch, and now it can be removed. Laying the floor and designing the inside will now be a lot easier. It was wonderful bringing friends and family to see Meraai. Meraai and I are both blown away by the general interest in this project. If anyone has questions they would like me to put to Bram regarding this stage of the conversion, please leave them in the comment section on YouTube, and I will include them in upcoming episodes. Earlier I mentioned that we would get to see more from my daughter Kate. Here is Meraai using Kate as an accessory. (2021). I don't think any of us know what's lying ahead. But let's just say that 2020 was a cuck year. To translate that for my international friends and people following this, that means 2020 was a cuck year. It ended on a terrible note where we lost a very dear friend, and yeah, just all around it's been a shitty time. But we've got our dream, and we're going to keep working at our dream. Now more than ever, this kind of, I don't know, this kind of effort is something we just need to keep working towards. We need these goals. They're just so important to our sanity. So yeah, Happy New Year.